sister security agencies from the military police also joined in, and together with our support teams from the canine and the scenes of crime officer. What they basically wanted was to see if at all there was any form of drive-away vehicle or a border to help establish probably if it was a drive-along shooting like what has been occurring. So they tried to block all exit routes from Entebbe, and of course it didn't yield anything. Now this scene was documented by our forensic experts yesterday, and they recovered the gun. They recovered 3 spent cartridges, which means that 3 bullets were shot. They recovered a magazine which had 27 bullets unspent. So, which means these other 3 spent cartridges composed the 30 bullets in the full magazine of the AK-47. Like I indicated, the 2 directors of criminal investigations and our forensics managed to revisit the scene this morning. Up to now, they are still there. They have reconstructed the scene for further documentation, although at this stage, the clear motivation surrounding the double murder is not yet established. However, the preliminaries that we've obtained do indicate that the male victim, that is Joshua, on friendly terms requested one of our officers under the tourism police called Police Constable Taremwa Davis. Taremwa Davis is, in Entebbe we have a number of tourism facilities, and amongst them is one of the hotels called Hidden Treasure Hotel. So this Joshua and our officer Taremwa Davis have been friends for the last 2 years, very, very close friends. Now, on friendly terms, Joshua requested Taremwa, that was at around 8 p.m., to escort him from Entebbe to Millennium Hotel in Zana, where he had an arranged business transaction surrounding an arranged business transaction involving the sale and buying of a car. Of course, the officer withdrew from his beat, and the 3 drove together. That is Joshua, together with our officer called Taremwa, and together with the second victim, that is Florence. So they reached at Zana, at Millennium Hotel, and there they had contacts with one of the suspected buyers or the dealers in this transaction, whom we are also trying to get in touch with. Is called Subi Robert. Of course, Subi Robert is not a suspect at this stage, but he has to inform us of the arranged business transaction that was supposed to take place between him and Nteyireho, Joshua, at Millennium Hotel. That was around between 8 now to 9 p.m. Now, the circumstances surrounding their movement from Millennium Hotel up to the stage where the shooting occurred, that is at Nambigirwa Bridge, is what we are trying now to put the pieces together. There's a bit of a puzzle in there because our officer, whom we have obtained an inquiry statement from, indicates that when they reached Millennium, Joshua asked him to go and call Subi Robert from inside the hotel so that they can get to have their transaction conducted. And of course, he says when he was inside trying to trace for Subi, he came out and found when Joshua and Florence had driven off together with his gun inside the headdress. Of course, it is not something that we can believe it appears is a bit evasive, but our investigations will be able to determine whether he's simply trying to come up with a defense, he's trying to be evasive, and so on and so forth. So, so far what we have indicates that Joshua Florence teamed up with our officer Davis from Hidden Treasure Hotel at around 8 p.m. They drove to Zana at Millennium Hotel, where there was supposed to be an arranged business transaction. Now what we are trying to establish is what happened from Millennium Hotel up to the Nambigirwa Bridge, where the shooting appears to have taken place. Of course, we condemn the actions of our officer. It's not justified in any way. Under the law and under the training that they do obtain, for you to leave your beat where you are lawfully deployed and then you go for a private for a private arrangement. So he will be able to explain that to us. Like I've indicated to you, 3 cartridges have been recovered. We have a magazine with 27 bullets. The magazine usually comprises of 30 bullets. So which means these 3 spent cartridges are part of the of the magazine, which is lacking 3 bullets. We have the mobile phones of the deceased persons, which we are also going to verify and also carry out forensic analysis to get to see who are the persons whom they were communicating with and what other additional information we can obtain from there. We also have in our custody, we have a magazine pouch which we believe was for the police constable, together with his headgear, which was recovered from the vehicle, and other scientific evidence, which is already of material value. We've lifted fingerprints and obtained other evidence inside the vehicle. So, as we talk now, our officer PC Taremwa Davis is in custody, and we've placed him under criminal investigation. He's being examined. We've picked his uniform, and we've also examined the hands, of course, to get to see if at all there are traces of evidence that could have remained on him, especially gunpowder. For any officer, for anybody who releases a bullet, the gunpowder always splashes on either the clothing you're putting on or on your hand. So he's being examined for gunpowder. That one will help us or probably place him at the scene or not. If he doesn't have any gunpowder on him, then we are also examining the deceased person to find out if at all there was anything to do with gunpowder on them. That will help us establish who used the gun and so on and so forth. Of course, there is no evidence to show that there was any form of fire exchange, maybe from a third party at this stage as we talk. The evidence so far indicates that the fire exchange was from, there was no fire exchange. These are gunshots that came from a single gun. So that is how our inquiries are actually progressing. Now, in addition to the movements of the trio, that is Joshua Florence and our officer Davis from Hidden Treasure Hotel, that was around 8 p.m. We've reconstructed the scene at Millennium Hotel and also at Nambigirwa, where the shooting occurred. Now, of course, we strongly believe that the evidence so far that has been gathered, this was a scene that was very clean. The vehicle itself came to a complete halt. There's nothing suggesting that probably, which means the driver took time to get to stop the vehicle, and it was Joshua who was driving that vehicle. So there's nothing to show that probably he was just taken by surprise and so on, because there is no evidence showing any form of skidding or maybe diverting from the steering and so on. So he came to a complete halt. Now, what we want to determine is basically at what stage did this shooting occur? Did it occur from within the vehicle after an altercation? Is it a transaction which went bad, or is it a drive-along shooting, maybe by a third party? So as we get along, the evidence that will be gathered will help us place suspects at the scene. Right now, our thoughts and prayers go to the families of the deceased. Our task team and management has pledged to be very objective and thorough in this investigation to ensure that those responsible are actually brought to justice. We also implore the public that if there is anybody within that vicinity or outside that vicinity who has some knowledge that can be helpful, to share it with our homicide department. The head homicide can be found on 0718 357 460. Thank you very much. So we can go to Uganda and then we do get questions.
Police spokesperson Fred Enanga enlightening the country with more information with regards to the murder of the two Rwandan nationals at the Kampala Express Highway last night. At this juncture, we've come to the end of NTV Art 1, but please do look out for more information in our subsequent news bulletins, that is NTV Tonight. My name is Romeo Busiku. Let's do this again on Monday at exactly 1 p.m.